often made out of the back of an armadillo. That's a charango. It's a 10-string.
That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, okay, I've heard of that. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's a real armadillo they make that out of.
they do.
The
I
shell.
had
It's
mine made out
insane.
of wood, but
Oh,
yes,
okay, it just looks like an armadillo. Well, that's good.
no, they legit make them out of armadillos. So the guy who
Oh,
made mine for
okay.
me asked me what did I want it made out of. So, but anyway, I think for me it's really cool to be able to, just fuse different styles together and and help widen people's understanding of what Latin music means. Because I know here in Texas, a lot of times when you say Latin music, people have a very specific understanding of what that means. And oftentimes it's Tejano, which I actually don't really play Tejano at the moment, or ranchera music, or norteño. And I feel like I will eventually get to those styles. But so for me to say that I play Latin music, a lot of people oftentimes are like, so what does that mean? And I'm just like, just come to a show or, listen to some of my music and you'll get a bit of an
Well,
idea.
and you can say that Latin music kind of exploded on the U.S. back in the late 30s, especially during the 40s, during the war years. It was very popular. It was very Americanized. I mean, it was they put an American sound. It seemed more like to it, but
Yep.
things like the rumba and just there's just great sambas and the girl from Ipanema and
Wow, that's going back.
but
I'm
no,
old and I don't know
it's
any of
just
that.
it's just not within the last few decades. I mean, we're talking many years, like 70, 80 years worth of music that we've had, and the greatness of what you seem to talk about, and when you say Latin music, I think more in that realm, in the realm of the rumba, the old great bossa novas and so forth. Which I'm sure you have. There's roots in your music there.
Yeah, well, I think the important thing is, every culture has a wide variety of styles of music. And so you can have, Russian metal music, and it's not necessarily Russian music, it's just that same style but in a different language. And I think in a lot of senses what I do is it's such a fusion that it is hard to categorize, because it's not necessarily what you're going to think of as Latin music, right?
Yep.
It just might be that I'm singing a pop song in Spanish, and so that's part of what you're starting to see now too, is that when you have people like Beyonce getting together with J Balvin, who's a huge Latin pop star, and then you have them fusing stuff together and starting to sing, present songs in Spanglish, and then the pop culture starts to understand, oh, hey, it's all the same, it's all just music, and we can enjoy it no matter what language it's in. And it's something that I think as especially predominantly for me, even I come from a place of privilege. I have lighter skin. I grew up speaking English, and I try to keep tabs on my privilege and confront that privilege even when I'm playing music that I may not have grown up with. The idea is that I want to honor that music, and I want to honor the people that have largely been stolen from. A lot of the Afro-Cuban styles come from the clave, which is a very specific type rhythm. If like
Yep.
Bo Diddley's beat, ba da 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 ah 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 ah. So that it's called a clave, and it's the 3-side and the 2-side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Well, that is
in a kind of an offbeat sort of way, kind of not playing right on the beat. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. But you're saying Bo
yeah.
Diddley had that also?
So Bo Diddley, that's a Latin.
You're
That's
right.
basically
Yeah.
it's called the clave, which means key, and it's literally the key to Afro-Cuban styles of music. Is that everything is built around the clave, and then you have somebody like Bo Diddley bring that into the States and popularize it, but people didn't know that it came from the Afro-Cuban diaspora. And so, I think
Wow.
it's part of it is in my music, I want to do as much as I can to honor where that came from, while at the same time mixing it into something new, because I think that's what's beautiful about cultures, is that it doesn't stop at a border.
Wow. John, what do you make of all this, baby?
I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I mean, she's way too intelligent sounding for me, so not like in a bad way, so don't take that wrong.
I mean, and ultimately it's just fun, right? I think for me, when I'm creating music, a lot of times I'm not necessarily thinking too hard about, oh, does this part need to be in English or Spanish? It's more like there's some songs where I'm like, you know what? The chorus just feels like it wants to be in Spanish, and the rest of the song was in English. And from a radio standpoint, that doesn't make any sense because people don't understand how to put you into a box. And so I feel very fortunate that I've been able to build a career basically mixing these styles together without having to fit into a box, but it does make it hard to market.
Feliz Navidad worked in both
Feliz
Spanish
Navidad
and English, so
that's awesome.
There are exceptions to the rule, I would think, and it even taught people a few words.
No, exactly.
Yes.
So Gina, tell us about, you have had some really, really cool stuff happen to you fairly recently. You were on PBS, NPR Music did a cool little video with you. Talk to us about some of this exposure.
For sure, yeah. The PBS special was pretty wild. Being a child of the 80s, I grew up on PBS. So to have an hour-long PBS special where we got to play music and, I got to watch it with my parents, was very scared to, see what they thought. But I was really proud of it. That was pretty exciting. That's actually up on, if you just Google Gina Chavez PBS, you'll find it. So that was a really exciting experience. It's called The Kate, and it was the Katharine Hepburn Cultural Arts Center, and It was an awesome experience. So I highly encourage you to check out that series. And then I'm a judge for the NPR Tiny Desk concert right now, and so I was actually fortunate to be on NPR's Tiny Desk. We just crossed 1 million views on that video, which is super exciting. And
we need to figure
lots of
out
good things going on. I've got a new. Go ahead.
We need to figure out where they got that tiny desk. I like the tiny desk.
Well, it's funny being in there. It's just kind of a normal cubicle style desk, but it is a pretty small space. I feel like some of the bands they have on there make it feel like it's not really that tiny, and then you get in there, and you're like, oh yeah, this is pretty small. Yeah.
So, your website, social media, all this before we let you go.
Sure, yeah, GinaChavez.com, and that will get you most places. I know we're living in a quite different world right now, and so I've actually been live streaming on my Facebook page pretty much every night for about 20 days straight.
Wow.
But 8 p.m. Standard, it's just facebook.com/Gina Chavez Music. But I would love to connect with you wherever you are. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all the things. So I highly encourage people to check it out. iTunes, Spotify, all those good places. And I have a recent song out that's called She Persisted. And I would love for your fans to check it out and let me know what they think.
Well,
Say
fantastic.
the name of it again.
It's called She Persisted. And definitely like a female anthem. Yeah. And then on April 17th, I have kind of the Spanish language sister song. And it's called Ella, which means she. And that song is coming out April 17th. So people can watch out for that.
So that's like to the same music, essentially, but, Spanish language, or?
That's a good question. It's actually a completely different song. They sound very different. But as far as the content is somewhat similar. I would say they're kind of maybe cousins they're cousin songs.
Cousin songs, yeah, not quite sisters.
Yeah, they're
but
primos.
okay,
They're
good cousins.
Yeah, primas.
Drink it fast, Jiggy.
That's right. I need to get my bottles of water in. Because the COVID's going to get me out of nowhere, even though I think I've already had it. But Gina, it's been an honor and a privilege. You, as John was alluding to earlier, you are way too smart to be on this program, but I appreciate you being with us.
Well, hey, thanks so much for the opportunity, and y'all stay safe.
Definitely.
Take care.
We're going to take a time out, be back with Ross and John and Gina. I appreciate it, and we will take a break, and when we come back, we have got more on the other side.
中介商，我们的卖方可以向买方提供他们的产品， 比如喷气燃料 M100、D6、D2、GP54、液化天然气 LNG、液化石油气 LPG、汽油、石油等，且不会有任何的延迟问题。www.dapower.com www.dapower.com
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
An incredible new marketing partner today here at Transmedia Worldwide. We have got a fantastic new marketing partner we want to tell you about today here on our big broadcast here on iHeartRadio, also AMFM247.com. Check this out. Poker Day. That's right, for the love of it. Check it out. PokerDay419.com. This is an absolutely amazing piece of business. Check out PokerDay419.com. Now, we've been talking about Poker Day 419 for about a month. These guys are absolutely amazing. Check out PokerDay419.com.